to hang out with me. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm sorry for coming late today, but let's do this topic. Is love really blind? Let's do it together. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome wherever you're joining from. Please, as you're joining, please help us to share. Welcome to hang out with me. I'm Anastasia Fishner, and today we'll be talking, and the topic is love really blind? Love, they say, is blind. And how blind can love be? What do you think about love being blind? Or what do you think about when people say love is really blind? So today we want to I want us to just talk about it. And if you like to contribute, the number to call and contribute is on the screen. Meanwhile, let me just use this time to share. Please help us to share. I know we have two people on the line. Let me see your name so that I can know where you come. Let me write something in the comment. Let me know where you're joining, and please don't leave. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna take more of your time today. At least maximum 25 minutes. I'm out of here, but I just want us to talk about love. Please let me know who is there. And let me know where you're watching from. Blessings. I want to see if I can share on my Facebook. Sometimes sometimes they don't allow me to share, but let me see if I can share now. But please, if you can help me to share, that would be a great deal. If you can help me to share, please share. And we're talking about love. What's really love? Being blind. Now, when a man or a woman falls in love, what happens? When you begin to fall in love, like I explained in the last broadcast, I said there's something we call falling in love and growing in love. So now, when you capitalize on falling in love, there is let me say 90% chances that the love is gonna be blind. Yeah. So because some people like, is love really blind? Is love really blind? Truly, love can see. Yes, love can see. Love is not really blind. But what will happen is that when people try meet somebody that they want to love, they tend to forget their head. So they forget their head, and they start having conversation and relationship with their hearts. And when you forget your head, it means the logical and critical part of your being will be subdued. And when the logical and critical part of your being is being subdued, what happens? What happens is that you're gonna you're gonna be loving from your heart. And it means loving from your heart will actually let go of so many things from your partner. That's the gospel truth. When you're loving from your heart, you let go of so many things, and these so many things could encompass the character flaws, even the toxic traits of your partner could also be brought under the carpet because you love him from your heart. So now, but people were like, yeah, it's good now. Is it really bad? It's not bad when you love from your heart. Truly, it's not bad to love from your heart. But that's why so many people start loving a criminal from their hearts. And what happens at the end when they start loving a criminal from their heart? When they discover the criminal nature of the person or character of the person, they will be swept off their feet. And so that's why it's good for you to get ready with your rules. I say yes, your rules. So anytime you want, or before you want to grow in love with somebody or to build a relationship, get your rules, get your paper and pen, put it down. Do not see yourself like an opportunist that just bump into somebody to love. No, get your rules. Get your rules, write them down. Just like the scripture says, write the vision, pull them plain so you can run with it. So you need a vision that you can run with. You need the things that you like about your partner that you can run with. So when you write it down, you pen it down and you pen it down and you begin to run with those things. And that will help your logical mind also to be at work. So now I want to talk about deep love. When people fall get to know somebody, there's something that we call deep love. They get into deep love with their spouses, and deep love will help you to even forget if the person is so fat, if the person is so tiny, if the person is so short, if the person is so heavy for you. You won't even think about that because you've fallen into the realm of deep love. And but if you think about word that is filled with rainbows, yes, a word that is filled with rainbows, butterflies in your stomach, a word that is filled with butterflies, so you feel like, oh, there's nothing anybody can do about this relationship. You are the one in charge. You want to go to the moon and back. You want to go to the moon and back to make sure that everything works out in your relationship, even at the detrimental, even when it's detrimental to your own rules. When you find out that it's detrimental to your own rules, that's when you begin to say, oh, love is really blind. But beloved, love is not actually blind. It's because you just jumped in without allowing your mind to also work with your heart. So the relationship that really work fine and better, in my opinion, is the one that starts with a heart and combines the mind to work with it. Yeah, or the one that starts with the mind, or not even the one that starts with the mind, the one that starts with the heart and combines the mind to work with it, because the mind and the heart has to work together for a relationship that will be a growing relationship. And then people like, love is blind. Oh, love tends to cover up the 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 dirtiness, or the dirty part of your or of your partner. Then I would say no. It's not that love is blind covering those things. It's because you are in a deep love, and you overlook those things. But beloved, there's a need for us to look into those things, because for relationship to turn marriage, then there should be a need for you to look into all the characters of your spouse, all the characters of your partners, because those are the things that you'll be living with in the future. So you don't just overlook it, because when you overlook it, they say, oh, I didn't even see this. So you have to look at the things that you feel that they are core values in what you want to have in your relationship. Then if you can achieve those things that are your core values, maybe the other things could be like secondary. And those other things that are secondary, we are things that you will always go about with without fear or without even trembling. And those things will actually help you in your marriage relationship. So, talking about if love is blind, of course, love can see. Love is beautiful. Love is practical, and love is also critical, especially in the beginning. So if you don't make it critical, you won't be able to fish out when the love has gone sour. So for you to be able to fish out when the love has gone sour, it means you have to be able to map out also love with your head. I mean, with your head means with logical brain that the Lord is giving you, so to think and to make things work out for yourself. So that is what love is. And love is all about building, and love is all about being patient about it. But when you're not patient about it, you will rush out of it because you feel, oh, was I really blind? How come did I fall in love with this person? So because you fell in love without watching your goals. You fell in love without thinking of your goals, and your fundamental principles. So what did I write down? I said, um, are you blinded in your love, or you are blinded? So you are not blinded in your love, but you can be blinded. You only become blinded in love when you refuse to think about what you want to achieve before getting into that relationship, because that is the core purpose of actually getting into a relationship. So if we look at the institution called marriage, is a sacred institution that the Lord bless us with. So now you want to get into a relationship because, one, you want to get married. Some people want to get into a relationship because they just want to have fun for the night. Some people want to get into a relationship because they want to They want to have fun for the meantime and move on with their life. They are not interested in doing anything that has to do with uh, building families and all that. So now, if you can find out what you actually want, if you can find out what you actually want, that will also help you. Um, sorry, I'm trying to share. That will also help you to know where you want, and with that, that will now help you to know if you're going to live with your eyes open or with the eyes of love open and the life eyes of love blinded. So when love is blinded, when we feel like, oh, fine, I just want to have this quickie and I don't really care the kind of character this person has because I'm not really into a long time thing with this person. And so many people just try that, and before you know, they fell into a trap of a lifetime thing that they live to regret because some of them end up making babies and all that, and they feel, oh, like, what really got me into this person? What really got me into this relationship? Oh, and they are the ones shouting, love is blind. Yeah, love is blind for them because they did not really think about the future before getting to a relationship. So love could also be blind if you don't think about the future before getting into that relationship. If you just like, okay, fine, I just met this man at the party, we just want to hang out for the night, and after that, and that's all. And before you know it, something else is happening to you. So, beloved, it's better for us to be cautious. It's better for us to be careful. It's better for us to know that when we do things that has to do with our conjugal feelings and communicating that with someone else, that something else can spring out of it. And we should also think that if something spring out of it, are we ready to be a father? Are we ready to be a mother right now? So if we're ready, so the person that you want to father your children is, do you really know him? Do you really know his character? Do you know his values? Do you know what he stands for? Is what is standing for, is it corresponding, or is it communicating, or is it in togetherness with what you're standing for? Is there a correlation? Because that's what builds a marriage in the future. Like your partner has to correlate with you. I mean, your principles with that of your partner has to correlate. There should be a form of consensus. You people will reach on a form of consensus. There's a form of consensusship between both of you, that's for you to build a home, for you to build a relationship. So when you now do that with somebody that you don't know where his family is from, you don't know his blood type, you don't know his genotype and all that, and you fall into trap, what are you gonna build on? What are you gonna birth? You're gonna build children that will make you you're gonna birth children that might make you angry, or children that might make you feel like regretting. And I don't say children make people regret, but because children are the heritage of God and they are gift from the Most High God. So they're not going to make us regret. But, scientifically proven, there are some genes that do not work together with another person's gene. So, like, people like have your genotype not matching with the person's genotype. So that there's some possibility or that the children's blood group might not be the right one. So in that, we should be able to find out our spouse's blood group even before having the first sex. And yes, it's been very, very important. Find out your spouse's blood group before even having the first conjugal mating. So that's it. And because when we do that, it makes us to be prepared for whatever that is going to come out. But if we don't do that, then how do we prepare? How do we help ourselves? How do we help ourselves? So for us to help ourselves, we have to be prepared. And I loving from your head. Are you loving from your head, or you're loving from your heart? Are you loving from your head, or you're loving from your heart? That will tell you whether love is blind, or if your love can see, or if your love cannot see. When you love from your heart, you're taking everything that you see. You're taking everything, say, even not takeable, you're taking it because everything is from your heart. But when you love your head begins to do some critical analysis and logical analysis to the things that are into your relationship. Another question you should answer also is, do you block the red flags? You're in a relationship, then now you're blocking all the red flags. Are you blocking all the red flags? Are you blocking all the character flaws? What are you doing with those things? Are you blocking them? Are you blocking all the character flaws? If you're blocking them, then truly love is going to be blind at the end. When your love eyes opens, it's going to be like, hey, how did I even how did I take all these stuff? How did I allow him to use me like this? How do I allow her to use me like that? And at the end of the day, we are swept off our feet. So we don't want to be swept off our feet, and that's why we have to ask ourselves: am I loving from my head or am I loving from my heart? If you have a question, you can just put your question on the comment box. Then I can treat it shortly or fastly. But if I cannot treat it now, I can as well treat it later. So another question. Today I'm just throwing out questions because talking about if love is blind or love can see, there are some questions we have to answer. And one of them is, do you give your partner a leeway, like you allow him have his way or her way in everything in your relationship? You allowing the person to have his or her way, or do you try to also have your way, or do you try to come on a you try to like come in a place of togetherness where you people can agree and decide what to do, or you allow the one partner to have his or her way? That is something that we should also look into, because when you're in a relationship and somebody is dictating in the relationship, it's not like a 50-50 conversation thing. You allow the person, one of the partners, to dictate. If you get married without such a person, with that person, the person will eventually want to be in power of that relationship. And there's nothing that you will say when you get married that will count, because from the scratch, the person has always been the one controlling the relationship. So relationships are not supposed to be like that. Relationships are supposed to be like in the beginning, or even always, a a 50-50 thing. You contribute, I contribute, then we come at a consensus. We come at what's the English word now? We agree. We come to an agreement. Yes, we come to an agreement. That's what the scripture said. Can two agree? Can two come together unless they agree? No, they have to come together. So that you will have to come in agreement. So, and that's the area of conversation that I always talk about. That's what I mean when I say the area of a conversation. So, conversation has to be at a point of agreement that both of you have agreed to do that. So it's not like you trying to block the person's red flags. No, when you notice a red flag, treat it. Don't block it, because when you block it, it's gonna get so red when you eventually marry the person. So you treat it, and when you treat it during relationship or courtship period, when you treat it and it's not working out, man, you have to find your growth. You have to find your connection. You have to find your lineage, because definitely there is somebody out there that will be able to be in the same route with you. There's somebody out there that will be able to understand you, and there's somebody out there that will able to discuss everything that needs to be discussed for you people to be in agreement. And there's somebody out there that is loving to hear your opinion and respect it. So do not cover or block the red flags and character flaws. What about character flaws? Do you block the character flaws, or do you discuss it, or do you trash it, or do you treat it? So whatever you do to that will determine if your love is blind or your love is sin. Uh, if your love is blind or not. So what do you do with character flaws when you see something in your spouse's character that you do not like? What do you do with it? What do you do with it? So what do you do with it? So you take care of it by treating it like, hey, I don't like the way you behave today. Is that how you behave? Please, I don't think it's nice for you to act this way. Why don't you act the other way? And you try to check out the person's reaction to see if the person is going to even um if the person is going to even answer you or reason with you or want to be in the same uh in the same atmosphere with you, you know. So if the person is going to reason with you and be in the same atmosphere with you, you know that the person is going to be a partner that is ready to learn with you and is ready to grow with you. But if you notice something like that and the person is not even talking about listening to you or trying to respect you, then you know he's not going to or she's not going to respect you also when you get married to her. It's a plain thing. So if the person can respect you during courtship, he will not respect you when you eventually marry him. So be courteous. Uh, do you create rules? What are your what are your fundamental principles? What are your fundamental foundational principles? Do you crave them? Do you allow your partners to know them? And do you think about them when falling in love or when getting to love someone? When you throw away your fundamental foundational principles, you're gonna love blindly. You're definitely gonna love blindly, and you might be swept off your feet at the end. So don't throw away uh, the fundamentals. Apostle Paul was telling Timothy, those things that your mother has taught you, do not throw them away. Those values, stay with them. So, as a woman, those thoughts your mother has taught you, don't throw the values. Stay with those values. As a boy, also, as a man, those things your parents have taught you, don't throw the values because if you throw them when you're falling in love, or if you throw them when you get to love someone, or you're meeting somebody, you're throwing away all your principles or your parental guidelines and values, then it's going to bump later because those are the things that you were built on. Those are the principles that is holding you. Those are the principles that made you to become who you are. And when you throw them to the bin because you've seen a beautiful girl you want to marry and you throw the principles away, you're gonna marry and you're gonna love blindly. And when your eyes eventually open, the marriage might not really be palatable again because marriage is supposed to be built in such a way that it will be palatable till death do you part, you know. So but what do we see? We see people that their marriage were like beautiful in the beginning, at the end of the day their marriage is no longer beautiful. So but some of them will not break the relationship, some of them will not get divorced, they just stay in the relationship and say, oh, let me just stay because of my children, let me just stay because of my job, let me just stay because of my position in the society, let me just stay because of my position in the church. You see, they just staying because of something, but they are no longer staying in that relationship because of the love, because their eyes have opened and they are now the one shouting, who love is truly blind. The love is not blind, you were just blindfolded to those things because you block the red flags. So red flags need not to be blocked. We need to treat our spouses with respect. We need to respect their values. We need to respect their core principles and what they're bringing on the table. We need to respect that. And if we respect that and we map them out in the beginning of our relationship, our love can see from the beginning and also see us through to the end. Yes. So, do you want to make your partner happy or find something that will make him happy at all costs? No matter where it is, you want to go to the moon and beg for your partner to make. I mean, you're in a relationship. You want to strive. You're looking for a way of striving, making of thriving. Sorry, you're looking for a way of thriving, of making the marriage relationship palatable. You're going extra miles I mean, there is nothing wrong with going extra miles, trying to make it work. But if you're doing it at the detrimental of your being, and you've not even married the person, then it could be dangerous also to your mental health or emotional health, because you don't even know this person. So it would have been nice if you just go extra mile with him, not you doing it alone. I don't know how to explain this. You want to impress your partner, you go extra miles. you know it's better when you go with him or her with the extra miles, because so that it will be as, look at what we've been through, not you what you have been through. Because when it comes to the realm of, look at, do you know what I went through trying to make you, then um you are just killing the emotion, because it might also affect your emotional health. So a relationship that will last, it's always a relationship that is pluralized in such a way that you use we, both of us, not I went through this, I went, no, it has to be we went through this, my husband and I went through stuff, we went through. It's not going to be like you alone. If it's you alone, then it's egocentric, it's selfishness. And at the end of the day, the person you're trying to help might feel like, hey, come, I didn't send you on this errand, give me a break. And that's why so many people really get hurt, because at the end of the day, oh, after all that I've done for her, she left me. After all that I've done for him, he left me. Sweetheart, you were doing those things without even bringing him to table. You were doing those things without bringing her to the table. So whatever you do without bringing them to the table, apart from a quickie surprise that you want to make them happy with, beloved, you're on your own. And anything that comes out, well, fine. If it turns out good and you're rewarded, fine. If you're not rewarded, fine. But it's in a relationship that you want to build, bring your spouses along, bring them along. Apart from, you want to do, like I said, apart from the fact that you want to do something like a surprise, to surprise them with something good, with a nice thing or stuff like that, any other thing that you want to bring to the relationship table, bring them along. And when you're bringing them along, that will help them to know how the virtues that you have. That will make them to see the wife material in you. That will make them to see the husband material in you. But when you stomach all those things and strive, and you're thriving yourself alone, and they don't even know how extra mile you're going for them, so they will never appreciate it. So that's why so many people don't appreciate that. So for people to really appreciate them, you have to bring them along, especially when you're courting or when you're dating. You have to bring them along. Yeah, you have to bring them along. Bring them to your bring them to along. Bring them along. Bring them in your dealings. Let them know what you're up to. And as you do that, the blindness of the love will begin to happen. So you want to turn them on. There's some people that, okay, you want to turn them on, you go extra mile for them, you go to the moon and back, or you want to end you want to go to the end of the earth, or to research about them, to learn about them, to getting to know them. Beloved, instead of you trying to go to the moon and back trying to impress them, I advise you just go extra mile trying to learn about them, and trying to research about them, trying to learn about their character, and trying to learn about what they can do. And in the process of trying to learn about them, you will be able to know who you're going to deal with. You'll be able to know who you're getting married with, and you'll be able to know who you want to be in a relationship with. And that will also help you to clear every files. That will help you to clear everything that you don't want in your relationship. That will help you to remove everything that will be like blockages in your relationship, and that will help you to live a more freely way, so to say. and that will help you not to be swept under your feet. And do you notice any toxic stuff in your relationship? Maybe you're just getting in a relationship and you notice that your partner has some toxic characteristics and all that. Do you just sweep it under the feet, or do you just talk about it, or do you bring the good news or preach the good news of to him to preach and leave those toxic stuff or things that you know that could be detrimental to your mental or emotional health in the future? Or do you just leave it to go because you want to belong and you're lucky to have been spoken to be in a relationship? Or do you find yourself in a relationship and you feel like, hey, I think I'm so lucky to be in this relationship. So anything the man does, it doesn't really matter. Or anything the woman does, it doesn't really matter. Beloved, you have to look into that. It does matters. Whatever they do does matters. So you have to look into that. So if you like to call in, the number to call is on the screen, but I will be running up very shortly. So what are we talking about? Love could be blind, and love can actually see. And I think I've been able to throw some points that will make your love blind. So it's now left for you to decide what you want, uh, whether to love from your heart or to love from your head. You know, when you love from your head, you observe the traits, you know, and you become critical, you become logical, you fall out of the state of honeymoon and the moods and arts of honeymoon, and you come to the place of reality. So, but falling in love with a heart or loving from your heart helps you to be in the realm of the moon. You stay in the realm of the moon and you don't want to come out there. But life is not about the moon, because even roses has thorns. So life is full of ups and downs. So you don't need to be in the place of the moon for all that. You need to come to reality. You need to come to reality. And coming to reality will give you also the chance to critically think about what you're going into, to critically think of who you want to spend the rest of your life with, to do the maths, do the physics, and do the chemical reaction of everything. So it's about you channeling what you want, and it's about you stomaching what you want. But what I want to tell you is that if you're in a relationship and you're stomaching some stuff, then it means you have to keep stomaching them till forever, because if you stomach them now and later you want to bust out, it might cost you emotional trauma. So it's better you just open up in your relationship uh introductory stage. Open up to your spouse what you feel you don't like and see if it can change. Open up to your spouse what you think you don't like about her and see if she can change. You know, so before you now conclude that, okay, fine, I'm getting a lot. Because if not, you'll feel like, oh, how did I even get married to this place? How did I get married to this person? How did I even went to the wedding? How did I well, how did I go to the registry with this person? You know, you just feel like, what really happened to me? Who has bewitched me? What happened? Love, nobody bewitched you. Nobody bewitched you. You know, so you made a decision to be in that relationship because you chose to cover up what you should have discussed about. So love can really see, in my opinion, love can really see. And it all depends on what we allow our mind to do critical analysis to. It's all depend on what we allow our mind to be logical about. So it's all about where we are loving from, whether we're loving from our head or we're loving from our hearts. So it's all depend on us, and we can actually make relationship worth it and beautiful if we choose to love perfectly from our heart, and of course use our heads to critically analyze every step and action we they'll fall into, so that we'll remember not to go against the fundamental principles governing the institution of marriage, and of course the institution of love. So if you want to find out the fundamental um, principles governing marriage and love, you can sign out a section with me. Send me a message on my Facebook page at Anastasia Fishner, so we can take your love relationship level to another level. But until then, I remain your host, Anastasia Fishner, and I really loved you for watching Hang Out with me today. Love, they say, is blind. And I say today, love can really see. Is how you lay your bed that you will lie on it. And I also pray for you that your hearts of understanding be opened, that you may understand the rudiments of love and what to see and what not to see. I bless you in the name of Jesus. I'll see you next week. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Bye bye. And please do not forget to share. Share to bless others. And if you have questions, leave your questions under the comment box and I will answer you. If you have private questions you don't want us to share, you don't want to share publicly, you can send me an inbox message and I will deal with that too. So see you next week. Same program, same station, same platform. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Stay locked. Bye bye.